I'm going to hit record over here. Okay, today is a very interesting day here in the world of hashtag Rise and Grind, and I'm super excited to be here with you for sure. Here we are on Monday, September 6th, 2021, and what's crazy is it's Labor Day. That's what's crazy. We're going to talk about Labor Day here in just a second. Before we do, though, you know we got to kick this sucker off. Let's get rocking and rolling. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? See, there's no excuse for you not pushing yourself to the next level. In order for you to create a new you must have a new mindset. When teams come together, we can create things that are greater than the sum of all of their parts. Good morning and welcome to hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to 8, and the creator of what is going to be the #1 most watched morning show in the world. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Monday, September 6th, 2021. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Monday, September 6th, 2021. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most, of this absolutely incredible day. Hey, today is also a holiday. That's right. Today is known as Labor Day. Now, this is a federal holiday that was established in 1882 in New York City by the Central Labor Union. And ultimately, Labor Day was created to honor and to recognize the works and the contributions to this country of our laborers, right? Like today was one of those, hey, you've done well, right? You've done well. You've done a good job. And so we want to go ahead and give you a day off. We're going to pay you to take the day off, right? And so I love the idea of Labor Day, right? I love the idea of Labor Day. It's a little extra time for you to spend with your family, hopefully, or possibly a little bit of extra time for you to spend maybe with your friends, right? You can spend some time with family. You can spend some time with friends. It's just a little extra time off. And I love the idea of that. I do. I love the idea of that. But I would love to also ask you a question this morning. Does a holiday like Labor Day serve you? Like, does the loss of momentum serve you? And I'm asking seriously. I'm sure there's multiple sides to this. So I want you specifically to think, in your position, does it serve you taking a day off? Does it serve you having an extra day off, 3 days off in a row, right? Do you do what you love every day? Or let me ask you this. Does it serve you, or do you do what you love every day? And so maybe the thought of a holiday like this kind of gets in the way. I know there's people on both sides, right? I know there's some people that are like, yeah, give me that day off work. I love it. I'm great with the slowdown. I'm great with the loss of momentum. I'm great with all of that. I just need to take a deep breath. And then there's some people, I'm sure, that are like, man, a freaking holiday. What are you talking about? Let's go. Like, I got stuff to do, right? There's people on both sides. And maybe some of you, or maybe you're just the type of person that is just thrilled to have a day off, right? Maybe you're just thrilled to have a little time to slow down. Like, I'm just curious which one are you? So I want you to give me your specific thoughts on Labor Day. Like, drop them in the comments on Instagram. If you're watching this on Facebook, drop it in the comments there. I want to know your specific thoughts on Labor Day. For me, the loss of momentum is very hard for me. It's hard for me to get going again once I stop. Like, if I'm out on a run and I'm like, oh, I'm going to stop, take a break. I'm like, no, don't stop, right? Because the momentum is what carries me through. Right now, we're in the middle of a 67-day challenge. 67 days of doing the morning five simple steps, right? No snooze, no phone, gratitude and goals, take care of the physical, send out an encouraging message. Those 5 steps, right? If I take a break from those steps because today's Labor Day, I'm not so sure I'll go through all 5 again tomorrow. Like, that loss of momentum from the first 7 days. So I don't know about you, but for me, I'm an everyday kind of guy, right? I'm an everyday, but you might be different. So I'd love to hear from you. Now, listen, I hope that you are ready, prepared, and locked in, because this week we start a new series here on #RiseAndGrind. We start a new series here, and it is an incredibly impactful one, okay? And so my guess is when this week is done, for many of you that are listening or watching right now, your life will never be the same. I know that's a huge claim. I normally don't go out there like that. But I know what the series is and you don't. So I'm just telling you, for many of you, if you lean in with me this week, your life will never be the same. Now, before I go too far, though, you know what we got to do on this show, right? Y'all know what we got to do. Come on, bring in some Tony with the keys real quick. Where's that at? Where's that at? There it is. Let's go. Woo! Come on. Hold on, let's turn that up just a little bit. For those of you that know, and those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right. I need you to hit that share button, because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you to hit that share button. So if you're on Clubhouse, hit the plus sign in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. Instagram, share it out. Let's go. Share it out. Facebook, you know what to do. Listen, this is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me, whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay. Say what's up, and I'll say what's up back. How you doing, Melvin BBW? What's up, Rizakio? Great to see you. How you doing, Giannis Dr. Rosos? Your favorite chapter is in the house. Official Megan DiMartino. What's up, Mrs. Bryant 0615? Tristan Smith is up in here. Positively Sally Ann. Miss you, Graham, and the Instagram ones are a little tougher. What's up, I Am Guard? Great to see you. How you doing, Marilyn Wilkin? Great to see you as well. Also, over here on Clubhouse, I see my friend Rev Max is in the room. I was talking to Rev Max about leading Club 111 one of these days here soon. Hopefully he'll be doing that. What's up, Bernita? Great to see you. And Jeff the Entrepreneur is in here as well. I see my boy TM is in the house. Great to see you, TM, as usual. My man. I see Michelle and Danielle and Robert and Dakota and DJ and Amy and Samantha and Kristen and Clarissa and Jim and Paula and Dale. I see Jerice and Roger and Derek and Stephanie and Maggie and Stacy and Steven and Dahlia. Pradeep is in the house. Holy smokes, that's what I'm talking about. Packed out of Labor Day. What's up, Steven2242. I'm guessing watching on replay a little bit later is probably Vicky Everett, Gail B. Craft, right? That whole crew, everybody. So thank you so much for joining me here on hashtag Rise and Grind. Listen, something else you can join me in. Thank you. Something else that you can join me in is the 67-day challenge, right? We are in the midst of 67 straight days of doing the morning five simple steps to an extraordinary life. And I want you to join me in that. Right now we have 922 people that are all taking the challenge together. Now, it doesn't matter if this is day 1 for you, or this is day 5, or this is day 7. None of that matters. Just come join us. 922 people around the world committing to doing 5 simple things every single day to change the way they start their day. I want you to join us in that if you would, please. If you haven't done so already, go to GlennLundy.com/67-day challenge. That's GlennLundy.com/67-day challenge. Head on over there and you can join us, all right? All right, let's dive into this new series. This series right here is going to blow you away. I'm just telling you. I know it is. So let's dive right in.
Grow your business for God's sake, See me winning cause I got faith in God's grace.
So there was this day a while back. This was actually a couple years ago. My wife laid down to take a nap, which is something that my wife is known to do considering she's been pregnant or breastfeeding for the last decade. Yeah, you heard that right. Actually, a little more than a decade. We did the math on that, and there has been 5 months out of the last 12 years that my wife has not been pregnant or breastfeeding. 5 months out of the last 12 years. You want to talk about a commitment? You want to talk about no loss of momentum? That woman, insane, right? She's insane. And so here it was. She went to take a nap. It was a Sunday afternoon. She went to take a nap, and I was working on some different projects. And so I told my wife, I said, hey, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to work on a project. You take a nap, so on and so forth, right? And so I sit down and I planned on doing a few things, working on some stuff in automotive and whatnot. And all of a sudden, my pen just wrote the words, grow your business for God's sake. Those words came out on the page. Now, I'm a bit of a creative, and I definitely like to flow and get into flow state and do those things. And so I was like, you know what? Let's run with this a little bit. Because that's a very interesting it's a very interesting sentence, right? Grow your business for God's sake. I was like, what is that? So I decided to explore it. And as I started to explore it, yes, I'm live on Clubhouse right now too, Kim. We're on Clubhouse and Instagram, coming into Facebook a little bit later. So I started to flow around this concept of grow your business for God's sake. And fast forward 2.5 hours later, I ended up outlining a 13-chapter book. I outlined every piece of it, the sub-chapters, so on and so forth. Outlined the entire thing. And so it just all hit the paper. It was amazing. And my wife woke up from the nap and I was like, honey, you got to look at this. And she was like, what is that? I'm like, look, I just outlined this entire book. This just came to me. And my wife was like, you mean to tell me I just took a nap and you just wrote a book? I was like, well, I didn't write a book, but something was downloaded through me onto this piece of paper, right? And so after that experience, I really began to study. I began to study the biblical principles and strategies around growing a business and earning more money, right? I started to really study those things. Now, fast forward, there was another crazy sequence of events. A pastor ended up calling me from Nashville, Tennessee, and was like, hey, I watch your Rise and Grind show, and we have business owners that we need to teach to scale. We have business owners that we need to teach to make more money. But in the church, the traditional church, money is the root of all evil is kind of the mindset. And it's been very tough for us to draw in the business owners. And so he was like, can you help me do that? And I was like, you know what? I got an idea. What if we hold a conference and we call it Grow Your Business for God's Sake? And he was like, bro, that's amazing. And so we did. He handed me his church that he normally rents for $50,000 a day. He handed me his church. His staff all volunteered. And we put together this event called Grow Your Business for God's Sake. Now, at this event, we had about 400 people in attendance. And my friends like Shaka Dyson, Sharon Lecter, Danelle Delgado, Lisa Copeland, some of my other friends, they all came, and Steve Brewster, they all came and they spoke on this stage at this church, and they shared how they apply their spirituality into their business to grow and to scale and all of those things, right? And it was spectacular. And I mean, just mind blowing, the entire experience. I wept like a baby multiple times, but never more did I weep than when my daughter, who was at the event, came up to me and said, hey, Dad, I want to get baptized. And I was like, what? And so 400 people stood around and celebrated my daughter's baptism at the Grow Your Business for God's Sake event in Nashville, Tennessee. It was awesome, right? It was awesome. So all of these weird things happened around this Grow Your Business for God's Sake, right? And so I began to just lean in, study more. What does the Bible say about money? What did the text say? What does history show us? What are the business owners doing, right? I started diving in more. And here's what I learned. And this is the biggest takeaway that I have for you right now. If you only listen to me for the next 10 seconds, if you only write down one note this entire time, this is what I need you to write down. Are you ready? Are you ready? This is literally a message from beyond. Whatever you believe. This is a message for you today. Okay? You ready? Write it down. Got your pen? Okay, lean in. Here we go. You need to earn more. Oh my gosh, did Glenn just say that out loud? Yes. I don't care where you're at on the scale. Listen to me. You need to earn more. Here, listen. This is what I learned. And this, as I studied, this is what I learned. Okay? Money is mentioned 140 times in the Bible. If you include additional words like gold, silver, wealth, riches, inheritance, debt, poverty, and related topics, it turns out that money is talked about nearly more than any other subject, all right? More than 800 times. Money and possessions are the second most referenced topic in the Bible. The second most in the Bible. Now listen, there are all kinds of verses around money. You've heard some of them, right? Here's one, Proverbs 3:9-10. Honor the Lord with your wealth, then your barns will be filled with plenty, and your vats will be bursting with wine. Here's another one. It says, you shall remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the power to get wealth, that he may confirm his covenant that he swore to your fathers as it is this day. Now, here's one that most of you know. For the love of money is a root of all sorts of evil. A lot of you know that one, right? A lot of you heard that one. You've been smacked in the face with that one 1,000 times. Money is the root of all evil. And so this one stands out. And let me tell you why this one stands out. Okay? Here's why this one stands out. You are to be a steward of money, not the owner of money. Okay? Let's back up here for just a second. All right? Back up for just a second. The reason that this money is the root of all evil verse gets thrown around so much is because it ultimately can be. Money can be used for evil, and it can draw out the evil in people. As soon as we fall under the belief system that we own the money, that it's for us, that it's for us to hoard, it's for us to keep, it's for us to leverage against others. As soon as we feel like we own it, now we have a problem. That's when money becomes evil. You see, you are called to be a steward of money, not the owner of money. What does it mean to be a steward? Okay, a biblical worldview of stewardship can be consciously defined as this: utilizing, pay attention, utilizing and managing all resources God provides, here's the kicker, for the glory of God and the betterment of his creation. Yes, I'm yelling. Yes, it's early. I need everyone, including you in the back, to listen to me. As a steward, you are called to utilize and manage all resources God provides for the glory of God and the betterment of his creation. That's what it means to be a steward. You see, there's this parable that many of you have, or maybe you haven't. Some of you have heard, some of you have not heard before, and I'll share it with you. Maybe there it is. Yep, I'm going to share this parable with you real quick. This is called the parable of the talents. It's a fairly common parable in the Bible, and just in case you haven't heard it, or maybe nobody's ever broke it down for you, I want to give it to you real quick. So it's like a man going on a journey who called his servants and entrusted to them his property, right? To one of his servants, he gave 5 talents. To another servant, he gave 2 talents. And to another servant, he gave but 1 talent. To each according to his ability. Then he went away. He who had received the 5 talents went at once and traded with them and made 5 talents more. So also he who had the 2 talents made 2 talents more. But he who had received the 1 talent went and dug in the ground and hid his master's money. Now after a long time, the master of those servants came and settled accounts with them. And he who had received the 5 talents came forward, bringing 5 talents more, saying, Master, you delivered to me 5 talents here, and I have made 5 talents more. His master then said to them, and I need you to pay attention, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little. I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master. And then he who had 2 talents came to the master. And he said to him, you delivered to me 2 talents. I have made 2 talents more. And his master said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little. I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master. And then he also, who had received the 1 talent, came forward, saying this, Master, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you did not sow and gathering where you scattered no seed. So I was afraid. Fear. Listen, folks, I was afraid. And I went and hid your talent in the ground. Here, you have what is yours. And the master then answered to him this, you wicked and slothful servant. You knew that I reap where I have not sown and gather where I scattered no seed. Then you ought to have invested my money with the bankers, and at my coming I should have received what was my own with interest. So take the talent from him and give it to him who has 10 talents. For to everyone who has will more be given, and he will have an abundance. But from the one who has not, even that little that he has will be taken away. And then he said this, cast the worthless servant into the outer darkness, in that place where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Now, I know that that is dark, maybe a little hard to follow. You should go read it and study it for yourself. I'm going to break down the 3 key points for you right now. These are the 3 major takeaways that you need to know. Number 1, God will entrust to us that which is within our own abilities and not beyond it. God will entrust to us that which is within our own abilities and not beyond it. If you listen in the parable, some got 10 talents, some got 5 talents, some got 5 talents, some got 2 talents, and one got 1 talent. And it said right there in the verse, according to their abilities. According to their abilities. You see, listen, if you want more money, then God needs to know that you're going to be a better steward. He needs to know that you have some money education. God needs to know that you're studying, that you're learning, that you're asking questions. He needs to know that you're not going to take that money and blow it on lottery tickets, or that you're going to take that money and go blow it on some 24-inch spinners for your Toyota Tercel. He needs to know that you're not going to take that money and go blow it on drugs or alcohol or recreation or any of those types of things. He needs to know that you have the skills and the abilities in order to grow and multiply the money. So listen, if you want more money in your life, you've got to level up your skills. Study. Work harder. Don't take Labor Day and sit around like a sloth. Take Labor Day and listen to some audiobooks. Take Labor Day and lean in and learn something. That's number 1 takeaway. Number 2 takeaway from this parable. God is the owner of your money. He is the owner of your assets. God holds the keys. And because God is the owner, see, you don't own it. You are a steward of it. Because you don't own it, He has the right to recover it. Now, you see this all the time. If we go all the way back to biblical times, we can see in the book of Job, the most extreme example. You can see where God allowed things to be removed and taken away from Job. He lost everything, all of his wealth, everything that he had built, and he was a good and faithful servant, right? He lost everything. He lost his family. He lost everything. Now, it was returned to him to tenfold or twofold. But God can, as the owner, He owns the right to recover. Now, my buddy Dave Meltzer experienced this. My buddy Dave Meltzer built $100 million in wealth. In 2008, he had $100 million. In 2009, he was broke. In 2009, he was about to get divorced. In 2009, he was going to lose relationship with his kids. Why? Because he wasn't a good steward. He was pompous. He was egotistical. He thought that the money was his. He thought he had something to do with it. He thought he had actually earned it and it belonged to him and he could do with it what he pleased. That's simply not how it works. It was all taken away like that overnight. Bam, 100 million gone. Imagine waking up to that. God can take away and will. And so you must recognize and respect this. Going back to what stewardship looks like. Utilizing and managing all resources God provides for the glory of God and the betterment of His creation. What is His creation? Well, His creation is the land that we walk on. His creation is the people that we have relationships with. His creation is you and I, children of God, right? That's his creation. So when we utilize our resources, when we recognize and respect that they're his, and we utilize those resources to honor and glorify all things God created, now you're talking. You see, now we're moving forward. Now you can level up and earn more. You can take your 2 talents and turn them into 4. You can take your 5 and turn them into 10. Are you following me today? Now, number 3, the third takeaway from this. It's really, really, really important that everyone in this room understands this. God thoroughly disapproves of slothfulness and expects multiplication, not maintenance. I'm going to say that for you one more time. I know I'm repeating myself a lot today, but this is important. God disapproves of slothfulness. You cannot and are not allowed to be lazy. And God expects, this is what he expects, okay? I'm telling you what God disapproves of, and I'm telling you what he expects. Both sides of the spectrum. Disapproves of slothfulness, lazy, slug, do nothing, bump on a log, and expects multiplication. You take what he's given to you, you multiply it, you expand it, you spread it out. You don't add to it. It's not add one. It's multiply. Right now, I am multiplying my voice and my impact. I am multiplying it into 400 people across platforms. That's multiplication. I'm taking the things that God has taught me, the gifts that he's given me, and I'm spreading those out. Multiplication. I'm not adding one person to this conversation today. We're multiplying it times 400. You hear me? Multiplication and not maintenance. It is not for you to just stay where you are. Maintenance means let's keep it where it's at. Right? When they maintain a plane, they don't add a bigger engine. They don't add more horsepower. They don't add different wings so that it can fly further. That's not maintenance. Maintenance is I'm changing the oil. I'm making sure everything, all the seals are still sealed and the screws are tightened. No. God does not want maintenance. He does not want you to stay where you are. He didn't give you what he's given you. He didn't bring you this far for you to only come this far. You see, and multiplication is achieved through your abilities. Through you taking the time to dive in, to learn, to be disciplined, to stretch yourself, to put yourself in uncomfortable situations, to grow for God's sake. In order for you to grow your money, you must study, you must learn, and you must increase your ability around money. In order for you to grow in your money, you must become a good and faithful steward. We are having an event in November 5th, 6th, and 7th. It will be the second annual Grow Your Business for God's Sake experience. We would love for you to be a part of it. If this resonates with you, if this makes sense to you, if maybe you struggle around this, if you're like, Glenn, I kind of get it, I need some help. I've been maintaining for a long time. Or I've been burying my talents for a long time. Or my blessings have been removed from me. My life is falling apart and I don't understand why. Maybe we have feelings of lazy and we just can't get the motivation or the energy to get rocking and rolling. Whatever that is for you, whatever that space is for you, I'm here to tell you that God has asked us as a collective to come together in a powerful way and talk about this right here. How we can help you break out of that. How God can help you break out of that and get to the next levels that you need to in your life. So I'm going to go back to that one sentence The one note that hopefully you wrote down, if you didn't write down more. You need to earn more so that you can glorify all that God has bestowed in your life. Listen, if you need more videos like this, you can go to glennlundy.com. If you want to join us in Lexington, Kentucky for the Grow Your Business for God's Sake event, you can go to growforgod.com, growforgod.com. We would love for you to join us there. There's going to be people speaking into this for 3 straight days, speaking into this, so we would love for you to be there. But most importantly, do me a huge favor, go out there today and be a good steward. Be an incredible steward, all right? And then I'll see you back here again tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. because we're going to do this all over again on hashtag Rise and Grind. Have an incredible day, my friend.
Every day I wake up is a blessing and a challenge. Ain't no stressing, I just manage. Steady building up my balance. I've been trusted with these talents to use to my advantage, to expand my vantage and level up my status. I got a calling, I feel like Solomon. Forever we ballin', for heaven I'm conquering, and I'm going all in. Whether I got 5 talents or 1, I'm gonna make it multiply until you tell me well done, well done. I don't do no stressing. Know you see me flexing, yeah, praise is my weapon. I'm just reaching for my blessings, stretching, reaching for my blessings. Grow your business for God's sake, for God's sake. See me winning cause I got faith in God's grace.